Here we are. We're at another episode of pokeNERDS Inc. And I'm gonna put on the special white lights today because this is going to be an end of an era podcast. Because today is my final podcast under the Poké Network name. I have interviewed nearly 4 dozen creators over the last 2.5 years under this name, but as all stories continue onward, my story continues onward as well, and I'm going to be a completely different person. I mean, same person, but different identity come the next show. So I hope you guys are ready for the next show, but I hope you guys are ready for this show because we got another awesome UK-based streamer in the hot seat today. But before we formally start, allow me to say, ladies and gentlemen, oh, what the? It always turns off. Oh, wait a minute. I think the battery might be dead.
The Bluetooth
Nope.
device is ready to pair.
Nope. Not dead. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, and all the fellow... Hold on. Ah, there we are. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, and all the fellow pokeNERDS of the world, welcome to the pokeNERDS Incorporated podcast, a Pokemon exclusive podcast just for us pokeNERDS to sit down, relax, and get to know other fellow Pokemon content creators in the Pokemon community. I am your host, your man Spence from the Poké Network. But like I said a few moments ago, guys, we're fighting time zones today, everybody, because we have yet another UK-based streamer in the hot seat today. And if his shiny reactions don't reel you in, his corny, bad, laughable jokes will get you in on his kooky behavior. But ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to pokeNERDS Inc. Mr. solarscyther.
Hello, hello.
I was about to say I couldn't hear you there for a second.
I'm gonna start attacking the microphone. Come on, transmit. I'm here. Hello.
Technology.
Gotta love it.
Corny and bad jokes. Yeah. So guys, normally we're we're having a little bit earlier podcast today because Scyther is in the UK, but he is here in the hot seat today to let us know what type of pokeNERD he is. But before, in all seriousness, Scyther, thank you so much for taking the time out of your day to come sit down with me and let me pick your brain on what makes you the pokeNERD that you are.
Yeah, can't wait to get stuck in. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely no problem, Scyther. Absolutely no problem. All right. So, do you have any questions before we go forward for me, or do you just want to dive right into the interview?
Nah, let's get stuck right in. Let's see what comes out.
All right, then.
If you're gonna pick my brain, please put it back if you found it afterwards.
I will try, and I'll try to leave it in the same working condition as you had it before.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Okay, so the first thing I'd like the guests to do, and then I'll do myself, is to give a little bit of a basic intro as to who you are, like, introduce yourself, explain what types of content you produce, and give us a little bit of a retrospective on your content creation journey, like what got you into it, when did you start, and then how things snowballed from there. So you got the floor, Scyther. Let us know.
Alrighty, so I guess first off, hi everybody, solarscyther here. Good to meet you if we haven't met before, or if we have. Hi. My content is mostly shiny Pokemon hunting in all sorts of different games. It's not just like, oh, we're doing it in the latest game only. We've recently changed tack and acquired a streaming DS, so we've got DS games available now. All sorts of stuff going on, and it's all just a bit of fun. But I started 1st of April 2021. I was only thinking that because 1st of October will be 4.5 years since I started. It was literally April Fool's Day because I saw a social media post about doing some fundraising through streaming. Bear in mind, height of COVID, lockdown, all that kind of stuff. I thought, I've got a bit of money saved up. I don't really have a PC that does anything. I could maybe do this and raise some money for charity. That could be nice. So I started with that. Originally Destiny 2 content. We got affiliated about a month later, and then at that point, I'm like, I kind of want to go shiny hunting because I've always had that interest in Pokemon one way or another, but not in terms of, well, it's always on the back burner, something I'll get round to when I have time. Like, well, hang on, what if we make time for it? And it kind of started from there with Dynamax Adventures, because my initial thought with content creation was,
Oh no.
oh, it's
Sorry, Cat was being a mischievous little bastard, so my bad.
oh, but that's fine. That's what cats do. That's what cats are here for. It's fine.
Okay, so anyway, continue onward.
Yeah. So it was DAs because I felt like to start doing content with no base. You know, I didn't know anyone that did streaming. I didn't have anyone that could maybe help out. It was very much, I'm on my own here. I need people to want to come in because they need help with something. So Dynamax Adventures, group activity, that could be a way forward. And it took a while before I then got to a point thinking, actually, people aren't just here for the DAs now. They're here for me to an extent. I could just do whatever, right? So that's when I started doing more solo shiny hunting, and then we've had a couple of Nuzlocks. We had an Egglock that ended early this year. That was incredible, getting the community involved with the eggs.
Sorry, give me a second.
And all sorts of other shiny hunts too. So, oh, he's gone. Right. Stream is ours now, folks. What are we going to do? How are we going to cause chaos? No, not too much chaos. Just a little bit. What do we do?
Sorry about that. Just a little bit of context. There's a hole in my wall over there because they haven't replaced the drywall from installing a new breaker box, and my cat was trying to jump in the wall.
Exploration. What's in the wall? I want to see.
Yeah. That cat's already crazy enough as is. I don't want him literally crawling in my walls. But anyway, so sorry about that. But anyway. Anyways.
All good.
All right, so back on the Dynamax Adventures.
Yeah, so yeah, I'd say sort of snowballed on from there as I started meeting people, and you know, I never really raided because a lot of this is all new. I didn't have any etiquette. I didn't have any sort of knowledge of what the best practice is. So I started to raid out at the end of stream sporadically, met some people that way, and it definitely started snowballing from there, really. And now, well, yeah, it's kind of crazy how it's sort of grown. Really, at this point, it's better than it's ever been. There's loads of people. It's sometimes a struggle to keep up with chat, which is a wonderful problem to have. That is a problem I want to have. Like, I can't keep up at times. I've got this game going on. There's people talking. Oh, God, what do I do? But it's a good problem. It's a nice problem to have. And I realise I'm in a somewhat privileged position to even have that problem. But, yeah, it's great. And the friendships we've made, has actually even resulted in me taking a trip abroad to meet some people that I've met through this as well. So the fact that it's even got to that sort of point where, like, well, yeah, I've made some actual friends through this. Yeah, that's
I could definitely agree on that front. I mean, I haven't gone abroad to meet anybody that I've met on Twitch, but I have, I've stayed local in the U.S. because honestly, if I could go out of the U.S., I would, but I can't because I technically don't have a passport, which I, for some reason, neglect to get. So, I mean, because of Twitch, I've met people on the opposite end of the state I live in, North Carolina, Louisiana. I'm actually going to Louisiana next weekend to hang out with some of the people I met through, well, not through Twitch, but through Pokemon in general. I'll talk about that later. But, yeah. But what initially got you into the whole content creation spoof? Like, what made you decide, hey, I want to become a content creator?
Yeah, I mean, I've seen, you see the content that's out there, you see the videos. I can't pinpoint like one particular video that made me think, yes, I want to do this. But as I say, it was like, it is a hobby. And it started with that charity fundraising, essentially. We could raise some money for charity by being on a stream and just playing some games and meeting some people. That can be fun. And as the more and more I did it, because I've got some presentation skills, it's something that's quite prevalent in my role, in my career at work. I do quite a fair bit of that, and I can come across quite well in a presentation fashion. So this felt like a natural extension of that whilst playing some games. And from there, it just kind of, it was like, no, I enjoy doing this. I don't know if I'm good at it, but the fact that people turn up and keep coming back suggests I'm doing something right, I suppose. But yeah, just that kind of I got into that rhythm, and 4.5 years later, we're still going, and I'm not running out of steam yet. Still got plenty of things I want to do. Plenty of sky's the limit, right? Who knows where we'll go?
I know. I mean, I've been in this for about 5.5 years, and there's still a lot of stuff that I've yet to do, and I still want to do.
Exactly. That's the beauty of it. And the good new thing with Pokemon is there's always new games coming out. So there's always new ideas that then come through. There's old ideas that you can do a new twist on. There's people in the different communities doing different things you can get involved with. And there's so much that can be done that you'd think, oh, Pokemon's a kid's game. Yeah, but there's a lot more you can do with it than just what you think it is.
The old misconception: Pokemon's for kids. It's not for kids. It's for kids. I mean, I'm almost 30 years old, and I'm still playing Pokemon to this day. So,
well, there you go. Yeah, mid-30s here. So, yeah,
I'll get there eventually. All right, well, for those of y'all on Scythers and who aren't familiar with me, let me introduce myself. My name is Spence. For at least for the next few days, I'm the Poké Network. I'm a variety Pokemon streamer because I stream pretty much anything Pokemon related. Shiny hunting and Nuzlocke are my main forte, but I've done regular playthrough challenges. I play fan games. I also doing Soul Links, which I actually have one wrapping up tomorrow, but I'll get to that later. Let's see, what else have I done? Just regular playthroughs, experiencing new games for the first time, just pretty much anything Pokemon related. That's me. I also am a Hades runner. I'm a huge fan of Hades and Hades 2. I mean, literally last night I was playing Hades 2 on here, and I did one run after stream. I made it to the final boss, and I got to the second phase of the final boss fight, and freaking I died. So like, why can't I get that moment on stream, for God's sakes?
That's the danger of the content creation journey as well. It's like, I've done this off stream. Why wasn't I streaming?
Yeah, but I'm more of I do this more for casual runs. Like, most people follow me for my Pokemon content, so most of the time I'm playing Hades. A lot of people are lurking, so I do appreciate when people do that too. So anyway, what got me into creation in the first place was kind of like where you got, just various YouTube videos and content creators that you watch over the years just finally get you into the craft. My main inspiration would be M&J TV. To this day, he is my favorite of all time. Probably, in my opinion, he's probably the top Pokemon content creator on the planet. Some may argue with me, but that's just my personal opinion. But anyway, it was 2019, and I actually emailed him asking if I could get some advice on how to get started on becoming a Twitch streamer / creator. And to my shock, he actually responded. I had no idea if I was just going to be put in his spam folder or just waved off to the side, but he actually took the time to read my email and respond to me. So I was like, oh my God, seriously, this is so cool. That alone inspired me to be a creator. But I actually didn't start until the COVID era, 2020, when the U.S. government decided to give us a little bit of stimulus money, and I pretty much dumped all of that into my startup PC. And God, if I could just give you the rundown of my startup setup, you would. I mean, people were like, "What the hell were you thinking?" Oh God, it was so bad. But I started streaming the day the Isle of Armor DLC released for Sword and Shield, and honestly, for the first 6 months, I didn't really understand how to integrate on social media and whatnot, and try to get myself out there. So I was kind of struggling for the first 6 months of my career. But well, actually not career. I'm trying not to say career because I do this as a hobby. This is purely a hobby to me. I'm not trying to make this a career. It would be cool if one day it would be a career, but for me, it's just a hobby right now. Well, my streaming journey, let's put it that way. So for the first 6 months of streaming journey, I wasn't doing much, but it wasn't until I got the first raid I ever received from Power Punch Plays, my friend, my streaming brother, my companion, my brother. got opened my eyes to the world of Twitch. So I finally got affiliated about a month into 2021, and it just snowballed from there. I'd done dozens of challenge runs. I created an OC character and did dark only Nuzlocke to that character. I've competed in numerous shiny hunting community challenges, world record attempts. It just amazes me how just hitting the like button and doing what I do just opens up my entire world, you know?
Right? It's mad.
Yeah, it is a mad thing. All right. So, kind of like what I'm about to do, you, my friend, actually kind of rebranded in yourself in a sense, because originally you were solarscyther Gaming. Now you're just solarscyther. So, first off, give us the story of how you came to have that username and why you sliced off the gaming and just went with solarscyther.
Yeah, so solarscyther, I was trying to think of a username because I did have an online presence as such, like registering for forums and stuff, but it incorporated part of my actual name, and I thought, I don't want that, really. Let's move away from that. So it was then, what did I want to do for the streaming stuff? Again, it was after I decided I was going to try and stream stuff. What we're going to do? I liked Destiny at the time. It's gone downhill, but never mind. Let's not go there. What's my favorite Pokemon? It is Scyther. All right. What can I do with that? Get Scyther in there somewhere? My favorite energy type in Destiny at the time was Solar Energy. There's just different. I don't know if you're familiar with Destiny, but you've got like different elements that you can command. Solar was one of them. Solar Scyther. Huh. There's got a bit of alliteration in there. I like a bit of alliteration. It can be punchy and catchy. Yeah, okay. And then we could have like the orange for the solar and the green for the scyther. Yeah, okay. I see where this is going now. I like it. So, yeah, that's essentially where the solar scyther came from. The gaming, just in case, for the avoidance of doubt, what do we do in the channel? We gamers. That's what we're doing. That's what it was at the time, at least with the gaming on there. And then you could also, if you run to turn it to an acronym SSG, all right, that could work. That could be a thing. I don't know. And so I stayed like that for basically 4 years. But a month or two ago, I decided, you know what? When people do shout outs like, hey, look, it's solarscyther Gaming. Like, oh, God, yeah, we're here for hours just saying the name. Let's shorten it down. Let's make it a bit catchier. We're not going to do anything that isn't gaming. We know that now. People mostly call me Solar. So keep the solarscyther bit. That's fine. Get rid of gaming. Shorter name. But I didn't do any announcements about it. Literally, it was just a Tuesday afternoon. I'm like, you know what? Stuff it. I'm just going to get rid of it now. Not even thinking about the far-reaching implications of having to update everything. So, yeah.
Yeah.
That was there. Look. The shout-outs don't work properly. The blurbs don't work properly. The text-to-speech. Oh, for God's sake, what have I done? So, yeah. Didn't realise the consequences. But, yeah. And then, of course, jumping into chat to go, hey, how's it going? And then, wait, are you Solar? That's different. Like, it's still me. But it's slightly different. So yeah, it was just convenience really that I shortened it down, just to make my life easier for less syllables.
Yeah, well, I mean, I'm completely changing my name. Like, pokeNERDS is not going to be anything integrated into my new channel name, so I gotta go back and change everything. Yeah, I'm gonna be basically I'm gonna be spending all night Tuesday just going over everything and just changing it all. That's gonna be my shit on Tuesday. But on my end, pokeNERDS derives from two main factors. Well, the pokeNERDS comes from three main factors. The first one, Poké, obviously, Pokemon. I want people to identify me as a Pokemon-related person. Network comes from my college days because I went for my associates at business administration, and I won't bore you with the details, but there's a lot of like group projects in the courses that I was taking, so I had to do a lot of grouping and networking with these people to get my degree. pokeNERDS. That rings off the tongue. That's cool. When I went into Twitch, it was taken. So I'm like, crap, what do I do? So at the time, I didn't think of the because I thought it was too generic, so I wanted to stand out. What I did was I put S in front of it in a hyphen on the professional stamp on the professional S Poké Network. That was my original channel name, and S derives from my name. My real name is Spencer, so that's where that comes from. But here's what happened. Twitch doesn't allow you to use hyphens, and I don't like using underscores. So the S and the P in my name were grouped together. So people mispronounced my name so much. I was called everything from S-poke, spokey, spoke, to spoken. People thought that N was spoken. Like, what the crap? How do you get spoken when it's just ugh?
The spoken network, yeah, that well-known second word.
Yeah, I got so tired of it, so I just I said fuck it, and I dropped the S, put the, and it was a very good professional change for as long as I've had the name. So it's gonna be weird for people to go into people's chats. So hey, wait, that's you, Spence. Because a lot of people know me as Spence. Like, people see my username, they think, oh, hey, Spence. But then in my new username is going to be like something like blah, 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 blah. And they're like, oh, wait, I click on you. It's you! I can't wait for those. I can't wait for those moments where people were like, oh, wait, that's you. Hey, Spence. It's gonna be so. I know it's gonna be so funny. It's gonna be so funny. I can't wait. All right. So, with the formalities out of the way, let's get down to the nitty-gritty details of what actually makes you the PokeNerd that you are. So, it's literally in your name. Why Scyther your favorite?
Because the best. It's so cool. Come on. Need I say more? Yes, I need to say more. I don't know. It's an original 151, so there's nostalgia involved there too. But I always resonated with just how cool it looked with the blades, with the wings, just that, like, I didn't really watch the anime particularly, but yeah, Scyther, she sounds kind of cool as well. And it also helps that it's got such presence in all, most of, if not all, of the modern games. It's in, of course, Let's Go. It's in BDSP. It's in Legends Arceus. It's in Sword and Shield, and it's in Scarlet and Violet. And hell, it even got a new evolution in Legends Arceus. So it's just there all the time. And of course, it's going to be in Legends CA because Mega Sizzle's a thing. My boy Scyther continues. So yeah, I just really like the design throughout, really. Yeah. I've never, before I started streaming, I never really thought, what is my favorite? I mean, I do like Kyogre as a legendary as well. That's probably my favorite legendary as well. But I'm not going to make a thing around Kyogre. Nah. Let's go with Scyther because, again, trying to think of future content. It's something we can shiny hunt in so many different games. So there's going to be little varieties here and there, And from the TCG side, because I do like a trading card, there's plenty of options there as well. In fact, I don't know if I've got my desk right now, but I did recently pick up a shiny Scyther trading card. No, I don't think I have got it on my desk actually, but yeah, I did recently get a shiny Scyther. No, but I do have actually something that was given as a gift, which is a base set 2 Scyther.
Ooh, nice.
Is in very good condition as well. So yeah, there's even the interest there that extends out. So yeah, that's my boy. Well, actually, no, I shouldn't say my boy because I don't get male shiny Scythers. I only get female shiny Scythers. So that's my girl, I should say.
Quite interesting.
Not my choice. I swear, like 90% of all the shiny Scythers I've ever had, despite it being a 50-50 gender ratio, are female. So yeah, at this point, I'm like, male shiny Scyther, nah, you're in the bin. Can't have you. It's got to be female. It's just a thing. It's not real until it's female.
Interesting. Plus, I like, in terms of like your overall image, I think you're probably the only streamer I've ever at least seen that has branded themselves with Scyther. So it's a good way for people to identify you solely based on a Pokemon. Even if people don't call you Solar Scyther, people will know that simply you're Solar. Because like when you think of Pokemon and you think of creators, you think of like what Pokemon represents them. Like for example, MJ TV, you think of Sceptile. When you think of Sweet Kicks 101, you think Joltik. When you think of Shine Patrol, you think Gengar. When you think Dragon Tamer Tom, you think Gible. But what Pokemon do I represent? Well, I got plushies, I got cards. I literally have those things embroidered on my skin. My favorite Pokemon is Obstagoon.
Oh yeah, of course, yes, of course it is. Because it's in the channel artwork as well.
Yeah,
I should have known that. But
yeah,
damn, that is gnarly.
Yeah, I finally got this beautiful piece done after over a year.
How long did that take to get done? I can't imagine that was a single session.
No, it was like 4 different sessions. It was a cover. It probably would have taken a lot less, but it's actually a cover up, so it takes more layering.
Ah, I see. Oh,
but anyway, yes, definitely worth the pain. So anyway, Obstagoon overthrown my top 10 almost instantly, because when this thing got introduced, I was like, holy crap, this Pokemon looks so awesome. It jumped into my top 10 based on looks alone. But after a while, and I finally got to start using it in Sword and Shield, this thing is an abomination when you set it up properly. It utilizes its normal typing with Facade and Guts and Flame Orb. So freaking it just wrecks house no matter what playthrough team you use it on. And on top of that, I'm a huge rock and roll fan, so the fact that it looks like Gene Simmons,
yeah. Sold. Instant win.
Yeah, so the reason why it became my favorite, and it overthrew Darkrai as my favorite, which Darkrai was my favorite for like 10 years. So the reason why it overthrew Darkrai was because when I finally started doing Twitch streaming, I wanted to have a Pokemon mascot, and Darkrai was being used by Patters as like a co-mascot. I don't want to feel like I was copying anyone.
Yeah.
So I went with Obstagoon because I looked around and I was like, nobody's using Obstagoon. I decided to go with Obstagoon. So now whenever people see me and whenever somebody thinks of an Obstagoon, they instantly think of me. Like one time I had a friend get a shiny Obstagoon on stream, and then they messaged me like an hour later saying, hey, I got this and I thought of you.
That's what's nice as well. When you have that association, I get that too with Scythers. It's Scyther. Well, that's obviously Solar. Like, the fact that you get to a point where you have that impact, that people think of you because they associate that Pokemon with you. That's when you know you've made it, I think.
Exactly. All right, so as a shiny hunter, which shiny would you say is your favorite?
It's not Scyther. I can tell you that much.
I figured as much.
Yeah. It is really difficult to actually choose just one. When I was younger, I really did want a shiny Kyogre. The purpley pink color was just like, that's completely different. I want it. And a friend did hack it in my then copy of Sapphire, to my eternal shame. Yeah, that's gone. That doesn't exist anymore. In fact, I don't think I've got any copies of any of my original Game Boy or DS games. I've had to rebuy DS games since then.
You and me both.
Because again, this is it. Yeah, sadly, I didn't have the foresight to think I'm going to want those later. Like, no, get rid. But thinking about it, Crobat is up there for me. That pink color, it is just so different. Okay, purple to pink, but it's bold. Crobat's just cool as well. So yeah, that one's up there for me. Komoe, I know a lot of people have a hate with Komoe. Yeah, it is possibly a bit too garish, but it's all right. I don't mind it too much. But I think probably my favorite shiny is Latios. Not Latios. The green color's all right, but I like the golden color on Latios. I think it just really pops. I always really like the Latios anyway as Pokemon. Dragon and Psychic. I love Psychic type Pokemon. It's probably my favorite type, which I know is a question later on, maybe potentially, but we can expand upon that. Not to jump the gun, but yeah, I do rather like that. That shiny, but I do come to appreciate a lot of other different shinies. Like, I didn't know how cool Venipede's shiny was. Like, oh, I didn't know it went that color. I'm still learning to this day how different shinies appear, particularly in like Gen 5 and 6, which I'm less knowledgeable on because I did play the games, but I didn't really play them, if you know what I mean. But I'm looking to get back into those and do some proper playthroughs and some shiny hunting in those games as well. But yeah, I'm still surprised sometimes at just how cool some of them are. The golden color, I think, in general, like Berserker's another one. Probably my favorite Meowth evolution. I know there's a few now, or a few variants, but I really do quite like Berserker. Just it gets that kind of that golden sheen with the Viking Berserker look. Like, yeah, okay, I kind of like that too, but it's tricky.
Yeah, it's always tricky. I mean, I am a general fan of black shinies, and there's a lot of black shinies. I mean, come on, Haxorus, Palossand, Rayquaza, frickin' where else is there? There's so many black shinies out there. I'm also a fan of blue shinies like Nidoking. I also love the slick silver shinies like Vikavolt, but like at the top of the list for me, it's Greninja. Because I'm also a huge fan of shinies that make sense. Because we all know Greninja is a ninja. So its shiny is black, which is the most associated color with ninjas. And also, the tongue sash turns red, which is also an associated color with ninja sashes. So the fact that it makes sense just makes it top tier for me. But also to note, Greninja is actually not only my favorite starter, it's my second favorite Pokemon of all time, so it gets a little bit of brownie points there. If Greninja shiny honestly wasn't black, it would be Rayquaza, because I'm a Gen 3 baby, and I love Rayquaza is my favorite legendary, so it's shiny, just boot is awesome. I mean, heck, shiny Greninja
looks good too, right?
Yeah, I mean, heck, I have, let's see, where is that?
Into the cabinet.
Yeah, into the nerd cabinet. I got a shiny, Greninja, like, promo card.
Ooh. Oh, yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, I like it. It's cool.
Nice. I didn't even know they did a shiny. No, there's Radiant Greninja, I suppose.
Yeah, there's Radiant Greninja.
Shield set they did, but yeah, I didn't know there were other ones as well. That's cool.
Yeah, but let's see, what was I about to say? Oh yeah, fun fact: this shiny nearly killed me.
What?
I was shiny hunting. I was shiny. Okay, after. Well, actually, quote in quotations, nearly killed me. But
okay.
What happened was I was after the Unrivaled Greninja was revealed and it didn't have Battle Bond. I was like, "Yep, we're shiny hunting this thing." So I shiny hunted it, and the second I was taking a sip of water, and then the shiny popped up. Instead of doing the traditional reaction, I literally choked on that gulp of water.
Oh God.
Yeah. Yeah, if you guys want to see that reaction, exclamation point Froakie in the chat, you guys will get to see that one. It's not going to be one of the clips I feature today, but yeah. So yeah, Shiny Greninja nearly killed me. So,
that's quite the story.
Yeah.
Killed by a shiny, but
yeah,
you don't know how. Not in the way you expect.
Yeah, when someone says you live, breathe, and die by shiny hunting, I literally live, breathe, and die. Oh God. Okay, so you kind of spilled the beans a little bit earlier, but why is dragon your favorite type?
It's a psychic rather than dragon. Psychic dragon isn't Latios, but yeah, it's psychic types. I think are probably my favorite. Which again, I'm so inconsistent. Scyther's my favorite. Psychic, my favorite type, but there is no psychic type Scyther. No, well, make it Terra Psychic, but I don't think that'd be effective. Back in the day, of course, the OG days, Psychic was arguably the strongest type.
It was.
Because some of the strongest Pokemon were Psychic type. You got your Alakazams, you got your Mewtwo's. I'd even put Hypno in that category. Yeah, it's tanky, but good. And I felt I sort of built on from there. Some of my other favourite Pokemon that aren't Scyther are also Psychic types, like Espeon, the aforementioned Latias. Jirachi is a mythical. I really do like the Jirachi as well. So yeah, a lot of the Psychic types are like, yeah, I quite like these. So and just the idea of using the power of the mind to feature opponents is also quite my kind of thing. So yeah, it just kind of spoke to me on a different level, really. Of course, things have changed where you've got the natural counter with them, the Dark type. That's nerves them a little bit, but you still get some really strong Psychic types generally. And to see what they come up with as the new type of Psychic at each generation is always interesting to see. Like Scarlet and Violet, it's an ostrich.
and a scarab.
Yes, and a scarab. Yeah, evolving from a literal dung beetle.
Yeah, we don't talk about Reller.
Probably for the best. Every time I see a Rel or TCG card, I'm think, why does that look so sus? Like it's just got a yes, I push poop around all day, and like why? Why does it make him look sus? I don't get it.
Oh,
I understand why we don't talk about him.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, but it's also funny you bring up the dark typing because that's where I kick your metaphorical ass.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Obstagoon.
Yeah, if I don't look like it already, my favorite type is dark. Not just because of Obstagoon. Heck, my top 5 favorite Pokemon of all time are all dark types. We have Obstagoon, we have Greninja, we got Darkrai, Hydreigon, Umbreon. They're all my favorites.
Oh, Hydreigon.
I mean, heck, I have a literal frickin'. You could see it on this thing. I have a Marnie playmat on my.
Yeah. Nice.
See, I got a Marnie playmat over there. But dark types are my favorite because I feel more kin with dark type Pokemon because I've had a pretty traumatic past and I've had a lot of dark stuff happen to me, and as a person on the autism spectrum, when you have dark thoughts, they kind of like go really dark. So I've always had like this keen insight on darkness. So dark types become my favorite because I relate to them in one sense or another. Plus, I think they're also probably like some of the most well-designed Pokemon. One Pokemon in particular I'll bring up in a little bit. But yeah, dark. I've always wound up using a dark type pretty much since Generation 5 on my team. Like in Gen 5, I used Crocodile, Gen 6, Greninja, Gen 7, Incineroar, Gen 8, I used Obstagoon, Grimmsnarl, Gen 9, I used King Gambit. Like in Gen 10, I know I'm going to use another dark type. But it's just like, I've always wound up using a dark type on my team, and it's just become a staple for me ever since I was like a teenager, you know?
Well, yeah, especially now that they're a bit more, you know, they're out there. They've got decent movesets as well. Like, I've been playing through Crystal quite recently, and yeah, good luck with that. Because oftentimes your dark type Pokemon don't really have much in the way of dark type moves. I went through the pain of leveling up a Murkrow to level 100, just because I wanted it to be level 100, to use, it's my thief Pokemon to steal a lucky egg, which I did do eventually. But the pain, okay, its strongest dark type move is Feint Attack. Like, ugh.
Yeah, but it also sucks that a particular dark type Pokemon was locked to the freaking Kanto region, which is a region it wasn't even introduced in. Why was my boy Houndour locked into Kanto? Like, what was the logic behind that?
Ridiculous. Especially like you got the Elite Four and go, oh hi, I'm Karen. I've got Houndoom. Oh where?
Yeah,
and then Houndoom. Oh, you can't yet. What do you mean?
Yeah, and then the biggest kicker: in order to get the Suno of the game, you have to clear all 16 badges. Where was the freaking love and appreciation for the dark type back in the day?
Exactly. Ridiculous. Absolutely.
Yeah, which is why if I'm going to be doing a Dark Lock in Johto, I'm doing it in Soul Silver where I can edit in dark types so that way I can freaking encounter as many as I could.
Yeah, you have to. Yeah. Madness.
All right. So, all right, with those out of the way, what would you say is your favorite Pokemon game? If you, and when I normally ask this question, I normally ask for just the main series, but if you have a favorite from the spin-off games as well, list that too.
Don't really do the spin-offs too much. Not for lack of appreciation, but you know, with so many mainline games, there's so much to do.
Yeah.
Oras.
Oras.
Yeah. Like you said earlier, Gen 3 spoke to me on a different level. Sapphire was the first game that I put more than 1,000 hours into. The counter broke, of course, because it got to 999.59. That's it. It's done. Too much water. Jog on. Don't know what you're talking about. Love almost every single Pokemon from that generation introduced. The story was fantastic. You've got the land and the sea thing going on, and Rayquaza coming down saying, "Oi, you two, bang your heads together. Stop it." So the characters are fantastic. I love the design of the region. The music is top tier. I will listen to that. You know, the battle music is my favorite battle music of all the generations, hands down. And then what they then did with the remake is somehow turn it all up to 11 and make it even better, in my opinion. You've got the excellent shiny hunting methods with the dex nav that's in there. The music is still there, but it's even better somehow. Don't know how they did that, but it's some miracle. You've got mega evolutions as part of it as well, brought in for the X and Y. You've got a little bit of post game. Love a bit of post game. Yeah. I actually need to finish my playthrough so I can start shiny hunting on that on stream as well, because it's so much fun to be in, and it actually looks really good on the DS as well with the 3D elements that they brought in. It just looks really good. So yeah. And some of my other favorite Pokemon. Well, Latios is in there. That's Gen 3, of course. Shedinja. 1 HP. Doesn't give a damn what you think about your super effective moves. Well, it does. That's all it cares about. But everything else, no mate. Straight through. Let's go. Definitely had a level 100 Shedinja on my Sapphire game as well, just because it'd be funny. They want to sweep the Elite Four, but know when to switch, so Shedinja doesn't die. Because it's just funny to flex on him with a 1 HP Pokemon. That hasn't been repeated. The concept of Wonder Guard. That's Shedinja only. Gen 3.
Well, bringing up a Wonder Guard thing, I was doing in like the most recent run of my Soul Link with Chaos. One of our first pairs, I had a Kangaskhan on my side. The flippin' thing had Wonder Guard.
Oh my!
It was invincible, but his pair died on his end. So I was like, God damn it, dude! Why? The best Pokemon I could have caught. Why?
Kangaskhan with Wonder Guard. That's insane. I mean,
I know.
Get it out as soon as it sees a Machop. Get the hell out of there, I suppose. But
Yes.
Otherwise, you're laughing. Well, you were. That's really unfortunate. Oh God. Chaos, why?
But yeah, I could definitely see the allure of Oras, because like I said, my Gen 3, I'm a Gen 3 baby. Sapphire was the first game I ever played, so
Right.
kudos,
there you go.
kudos there. But yeah, I mean, freaking, I love Mega Swampert. Let's see, I think did I use Absol on that team? I think I did. Yeah, I used Absol. I love using Absol. Yeah. It's, like, I found it so awesome that before the 6th badge, you get freaking Latios as a gift with this Megastone. I'm like, what the crap?
Yeah. Are you sure? Okay. I mean, I'll take it, but it feels a bit overpowered.
I know. Oh,
So
God.
and of course, yeah, I forget about that. You then fly across Hoenn.
That
I've
was
never seen anything like that before in a DS game, certainly. Of course, nowadays it's normal with Scarlet and Violet, just zoom around on the back of a legendary Pokemon. But at that point, that was revolutionary. And it was all rendered in DS 3D, which it looked glorious. You could see Hoenn below you. You could actually see all the different landmarks. Like, oh my God, okay, this is really good.
Yeah, especially with the Hoopa rings and whatnot. Excellent way to shiny hunt legendaries before Ultra Wormholes were a thing.
Yeah. Oh. Oh, I'm just excited thinking about getting back to that playthrough now. Actually getting that done. Oh, so good. Because I've not got far. I think I got to. Oh God, I think I've done this. I've certainly done the first badge. I was on the way to get the second one done. I think that's where I then sort of left it, and then I've carried on playing Crystal and or whatever. So yeah, I've got to get back to that.
Yeah.
Too
good. So, my favorite game, Black 2 and White 2.
Oh.
So, honestly, I personally believe that the Gen 5 games are the best storyline written Pokemon games of the main series. Just the main series. Not talking about spin-off games, just the main series. I think they're the best written storyline games of any main series Pokemon game. The reason why Black and White doesn't surpass Black 2 and White 2 is because Black 2 and White 2 introduced Hugh. In my opinion, is the best rival in the history of Pokemon because he's not in this for fame and glory. He's in this for revenge. And I love a revenge story. So, it tops it off there. Plus, it was also the first game I actually used Lucario in. Lucario is one of my favorite Pokemon, so the fact that I got to use Lucario for once just makes it awesome. Let's see, what else is there? Plethora of Dark-type Pokemon I could potentially use. And let's see what else. Yeah. Also, just the fact that, Pokemon Fusion for the first time ever is like, holy shit!
Yeah, that was pretty badass. Just the idea of, I have 2 Pokemon, but now I have 1, and it's even stronger. Yeah, okay.
Exactly. Looks like you got a question from Radiant Scyther. What was your quickest shiny hunt?
Quickest shiny hunt. I think it might have actually happened this week. Because I did a sandwich looking for a Dunsparce and I got one in the first 10 seconds. I think it's up there. I'm like, oh, hey Dunsparce, how you doing, bro? We'll grab you real quick.
10 seconds.
It wasn't the 3 segment the Dunsparce when we evolved it, sadly, but I was like, well, that was quick. And I think actually I then got one immediately after. It was in Area 0, just heading down further into the cave. And then we got that Dunsparce, and then literally, like, I don't know, 5 seconds later, there's another one.
Ooh.
Well, okay then.
Hello.
Thank you kindly.
Hello.
Hello there. Yeah. I don't know if I've had any quicker. Like Masuda, I can't think of any that I got in like 1 egg or anything. I've not had anything quite like that, I guess. But that's in a game that I do, where we want to get as many shinies as possible in stream anyway. So we can come on to that later, I guess. But yeah, that was nice for it to appear that quickly. Put it that way.
Yeah, quick shinies are always nice shinies. But yeah, for the plethora of reasons I stationed before, Black 2 and White 2 are my favorite games. I'm actually trying to do a DTQ in Black 2 right now, but I cannot get out of the fucking sewers because I'm stuck on a Zubat.
Oh, I mean,
because I'm trying to get Yeah, because I'm trying to get Crobat. I like Crobat shiny. I like Crobat.
Yeah, that'd be a great addition to the team, honestly.
Yeah. I need a flyer anyway, so I figured I'd just use the best one, Crobat.
Oh, even better. Yeah. Oh, fingers crossed, get out of the sewers soon. That stinks. Pun intended.
Yes, it does stink. But I don't know. We'll see about that. But outside the main series, spin-off games, I love XD Gale of Darkness. Love it.
Oh. When are they getting that out on the Switch 2? They need that now.
It's supposed to be in the GameCube integration, but I don't got it. So hopefully people who have that can play it. But I played mine on an emulator back in the day, and I'm like, oh god, I love this game so much. Especially like the characters, the story. They did a lot of Pokemon animations dirty. There's a freaking scene where after an Electrode faints, it has like eyeballs popping out of its sockets.
Yeah.
It doesn't have eyeballs. It has like tiny little dots for eyes.
Boing.
I lost it. I lost it when I saw that. I just couldn't stop laughing.
Oh, I miss the goofy era sometimes, you know.
Yeah, the goofy era is definitely something else. But why don't we move from love to hate? Let me find out what you don't like about Pokemon, starting with your least favorite Pokemon.
Scotopede.
What? Scolipede?
Yeah. I have a very particular reason for this. Although I'm also thinking I might say Skorupi, but I know some people might be a bit mad at me if I say that, which I've got a little story on Skorupi. But Scotopede in particular. Now, don't get me wrong. It's a good Pokemon. It's strong. It's got a very strong design. It does look pretty fun. But I was doing a randomized Sun and Moon Soul Link. Now, I had a really easy time of it because my starter was Mega Mewtwo X. What the fuck? Okay, cool, great. We'll have that.
That's
really
busted!
easy time of it. Yeah, and then it learned Wake Up Slap like really quickly. So, it's got a stab move too. Alrighty. I'm having an easy time. The Sonic partner, however, had an entire team of Grass-type Pokemon, and their first fight was against a Fire-type trainer.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, they emerged unscathed. Well, no, they lost a Pokemon or two. But yeah, we had some issues. Some of my encounters, I think I had a Genesect as one of my encounters. Spoiler alert, that didn't get captured. Well, I think it was a Manaphy. I ended up as being one that I actually did catch somehow with like the final or second to last Pokeball. Couldn't believe it. Wonderful addition to the team. We defeat the first totem, easy enough, but the second totem Pokemon, which, as you may, folks may know, is meant to be wishy-washy, for me, was a Machop. Okay, Mega Mewtwo X has got this covered. Happy days. My Soul Link partner, as you may have already guessed at this stage, was Scolipede. Now, when you've got pretty much an entire team of Grass-type Pokemon against a Bug-type, as we say in French, bon chance. Yeah, we lost. Completely rigged. How was that even fair in the slightest bit? I've got Mewtwo, just slapping, literally slapping everything left, right. Wake up. Oh, you're dead already. Never mind. We'll slap you some more. And yet, my partner, just got slapped. It was, yeah. So now Scolipede just loses my head rent free. Every time I see it, even in Dynamax Adventures, I'm like, it might be useful for this, but I don't want it. I really don't want it. Nah. It lives rent-free in my head. Skorupi is... I don't hate Skorupi. I think it's got a great shiny. Actually, no, we'll talk about that later, because we've got clips, and it's part of the clip, so we can elaborate on that one later. But yeah, Skorupi is definitely... I get it. I get why people like it, but it has a history with me.
Fair enough. I mean...
Zweilous is the same. Zweilous as well.
Zweilous?
Yeah, this is why we said Hydreigon. Yeah. Again, cool Pokemon. But I hunted for Roaring Moon in Scarlet. Was the game
I see.
Launch.
Gotcha.
Yeah, you see where this is going already. I did a thing where I hunted for all the shiny Paradox Pokemon in Scarlet to swap with some for Violet. I did it on stream as like a birthday celebration thing. Para swaps Pokemon. Sounds like Paradox Pokemon. I thought it was a clever play on words. I got stuck on Sandy Shocks, but I got Roaring Moon really quickly and exchanged that with someone Violet for Iron Valiant. Really cool. My Roaring Moon, however, was not so cooperative. 13 shiny Zweilous appeared before I got a single Roaring Moon shiny, let alone everything else. There were Gibbles, not many Gibbles, admittedly, but there were a couple of Gibbles. There was a freaking Espeon. So you're a dark type. Why are you shiny? I like shiny Espeon, but why are you here? Countless piss-coloured doggos. Yeah, before finally the Roaring Moon showed up. But then I got redemption because my birthday, was it this year or last year? I think it was last year. I hunted, just because Zweilous became a meme at this point for me. I decided to go after a shiny Zweilous. Destiny marked, I didn't get one, but I did get a shiny, adamant, Destiny marked Roaring Moon as redemption.
You lucky bastard.
Yeah. That felt like the redemption arc completing at that point. So yeah, Zwirlus has a bit of a thing for me, but Scotope definitely number one for me.
Well, well, my least favorite, believe it or not, is a dark type. So, yeah, you think as a dark type guy, I'd be the lover of all dark types. Well, this dark type is on my shit list, at the top of my shit list, because of a very few various factors. Alolan Persian. Not just because of that ugly ass design. I think it's the most hideous Pokemon to ever be introduced. Ugh.
It ran into a wall. That's how they got the face design, I think, wasn't it?
Just like how Scolipede, just how Scolipede has wronged you. It's the same way with how Alolan Persian has wronged me in a sense, because as a dark type prodigy, I was pissed for years we never got a dark type gym. But then Sun and Moon came about, and the closest thing we got to a dark type gym leader was Nanu, the Kahuna. So I was like, finally, some redemption. But then come to find out that his ace, out of all the dark types that he could have used. Okay, so here's the thing. I understand. Literally, I kid you not, there were only 2 dark type Pokemon in Gen 7 that were native to the region. Not in Alolan form, native to the region. Incineroar and Guzzlord. He couldn't use an Ultra Beast. He couldn't use a starter. Yeah, all the other dark types were Alolan forms or in from other regions.
Yeah. Rattata,
So
Grimer. Yeah, oh my god.
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah, so obviously he had to use an Alolan form. He could have used an Alolan Muck, and that would have made the battle so much better and harder, because the Alolan Muck's only weak to ground. But frickin' Alolan Persian comes into play, and I'm like, are you flipping kidding me? Like, are you kidding me? Like, for God's sakes, why is this stupid cat the ace of Nanu? I get there's a frickin' Alolan Meowth in his frickin' cop shed over by Po Town. But frickin', why does his ace have to be that stupid cat? I mean, I love cats, but I hate this one. I want to punt it to the sun and watch it disintegrate into ash. But I hate it so much. Ugh. But then, little more icing on the cake, or in this case, slime on top of the toadstool. Frickin', one of my old friends back in the day made me shiny hunt the little bastard. So I had to shiny hunt an Alolan Meowth, but luckily for me, I got it quick. So I was like, oh, thank God I'm not stuck on this thing forever. I hate Alolan Persian so much. Unless something in Gen 10 comes about and it really gets on my shit list, Alolan Persian will probably stay at the pinnacle.
Oh, God.
Okay, so what's your least favorite shiny?
Garchomp's up there. For me, any shiny where it's almost indistinguishable from the non-shiny form is up there.
Yeah, but is there a shiny in particular that's gotten on your shit list? Like it just bugs you because of like personal trauma or various other forms?
Not for any personal trauma, I guess. I mean, again, we'll talk about Skorupi later. That's got a reason to be on the list, I guess. But and Zwirlus as well, of course. But yeah, I think it's the Pokemon. It's just about to keep turning up as a shiny. I guess maybe I would go down the Scyther route, because I feel like they could have done Scyther so much better. The green is not different enough. Yes, it is noticeable, certainly different in older gens. I mean, it looks good in Gen 2. Quite like it in that. But in later gens, just the pink knees, well, thighs, I guess, or just legs. Yeah, pink legs. Again, there may be some base in nature. Not that I've researched or anything, but I just feel like it could have been different. It could have been more interesting. Like with the evolutions, Cleavor is brown, but the shiny is green, a bit like Scyther. Okay, that's, a homage. That's kind of cool. Scizor is red, but the shiny is green. Again, it's paying homage back to the Scyther. Why couldn't they made Scyther red? Why couldn't they have inverted it that way? Yes, Scyther came first, obviously, but yeah, I feel like Scyther's been done a little dirty, honestly, with the shiny. It could be so much better.
Yeah, I can feel your sentiment for my least favorite shiny because literally this is the only difference. When I take off my sunglasses, that's technically shiny me because this is my normal image. So what shiny is only different via the eyes? What shiny is that? Oh wait, it's some of the most anticipated Pokemon in Gen 9, Ceruledge and Armarouge.
Yeah.
And to add Charcadet because it's the same thing. The only thing that changes is a stupid eye color.
There's so much they could have done with that. They could have like inverted or swapped over the color palettes of Armarouge and Ceruledge to make them the shinies of one another. They could have done that. They thought, nah.
Exactly. I've said that every single flippin' podcast. I've said that every single time. Every time I've done this show, I've always said that from one point to another. If seriously, if Armarouge and Ceruledge weren't such ass shinies, I probably would have said Regice because frickin' it takes so much time for me personally to shiny hunt Regice because I'm looking at it and I have to wait for the animation scene to play out to see if it sparkles or not because I can't tell if it's fucking shiny.
Exactly, yeah. It's such a subtle difference. You just can't see it. Ugh.
Yeah, just waiting for the
make it shiny, make it cool.
Yeah, just waiting for the sparkle animation to play out because I want to see if it's actually shiny or not. It's just like, ugh. But yeah, seriously, Armarouge, Charcadet, Ceruledge on my shit list. And the sole reason I shiny hunted one of them was because Power Punch plays redeemed it to make me shiny hunt it. And I would under any normal person, I would have said no, take your points back. But this was like this was like my streaming brother, my friend, my guy who's been a part of my channel for pretty much almost like 5 years, and I'm like, you son of a bitch, I'll do it, but I'm not gonna like it.
Yeah, can't redeem any number of points to make you like that hunt.
No, sir, no, sir, no, sir. Okay. All right, so what would you say out of all the 18 types is your least favorite?
That is a tricky one, because they've all got the different strengths and weaknesses, but I think this is going to sound like a meme as well because as Scyther's my favorite, it's weak to rock. But yeah, I might go down the road of rock because I feel, I've got other reasons actually for hating rock types apart from being 4 times weak to them as a Scyther. The moveset. Why are so many rock type moves inaccurate? They don't have 100 accuracy, especially the stronger moves.
Ah, yes.
I feel like they've been done a bit dirty there.
Yes.
You throw a rock at someone, it's going to hurt. Is that based on the yeet accuracy? No, I think that is an anomaly to this day. There are so many strong rock moves that have lower accuracy than comparative strength moves for other types. Even like water, especially, seems to be very accurate. But why not rock?
Like, even the weaker moves, like freaking Rock Throw, have like 95% accuracy. Like, what the heck? How is it?
Exactly.
And as the old saying goes, if it's not 100% accurate, it's 50% accurate. So freaking half the time these rock moves are missing, so we can't utilize the type.
Exactly. Such a shame because there's so many cool rock type Pokemon out there that would benefit so much more. I'd use more rock type Pokemon in my teams because they have good effectiveness. My flying types, ice types, rock types, not rock types, fire types. I mean, they've got good utility, but when you can't rely upon those moves, it's why, like, when I'm playing through a game, I don't like things like Hydro Pump because they have that built-in inaccuracy. I'd much rather use Surf. You've got more uses of the move. It's going to be weaker, but I'd at least rather have something reliable as a move. So the fact that rock moves just don't have that inherent strength makes me move away from those just as a natural reaction. And I think that's a real shame because that means I'm missing out on having some cool Pokemon on the team that otherwise I'd use.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I've used rock types seldomly over the years. I did use a Lycanroc midnight form on my first playthrough of Moon, but I think honestly that's probably like the only. Wait, did I use a Colossal at one point? I think I used a Colossal in one of my playthroughs of yeah, when I did a Rillaboom style team, I used a Colossal on that team. But other than that, I kind of steered away from rock types because, like I said, inaccurate moves and honestly, too many weaknesses. Too many. It's tied with grass for the most natural weaknesses.
Yeah, that doesn't help either. Especially as they often like to pair rock with ground to compound the weaknesses to certain moves, which are abundant.
Yep. Yeah. So this is gonna sound really petty of me because, you know, I'm a dark type guy, but I hate fairy types.
Oh, okay.
So, I mean, I will iterate. There are a few fairy type Pokemon that I do like, but most of the time, I can't stand fairy types. They nerfed dark types when dark types didn't need a nerf, and I hate that it got so much love in the gen it was introduced. Back in Gen 2, when Steel and Dark become new types, they got barely any recognition. But then Gen 6 comes along and Fairy comes along. Let's see, what did Fairy type get? Brand new Pokemon, older Pokemon become that typing, a Chim right out the gate, a Legendary right out of the gate. It's the box art Legendary of X. And then to top it off, the ace Pokemon of the champion is a Fairy type Mega. What the actual hell? Why is there so much love for this new type in this gen, where when dark types and, you know, steel types were introduced, they got barely any love. I hate they gave so much favoritism to this new type. It's just it's stupid. It's just pure asinine stupid. I just
think maybe it was like like a correction, or maybe an overcorrection from the fact that Steel and Dark types didn't get the same treatment. Maybe?
Well, they got decent treatment over the years, but in the gen they were introduced, they got like jack nothing.
Well, yeah, that's what I mean. Yeah, the fact that they didn't get anything in the gen they introduced, they were thinking, we're going to do this again. We've got to do better this time than we did before. We recognize what we've done wrong. Fair enough. Let's do better this time. But that then only.
Yeah, and then in then in Gen 7, all the Tapus are fairy type, and I'm like, what the crap?
Yeah.
Yeah. What the crap, y'all? And then Gen 8, Zacian's a fairy type. I'm like, what the shit?
Oh yeah.
I was gonna be pissed if they freaking made Koraidon and Miraidon part fairy type. I'm like, if those dragons are fairy, I'm gonna be pissed.
Well, at least the state legendaries are dark type, I suppose. That's something.
The what?
The like Tinglu, Wo-Chien, those four.
Oh yeah, those are dark types. Yeah, I also do appreciate that Yveltal was a dark type, because that was actually the first dark type legendary introduced.
Oh yeah, because Dark Rise Mythical. Yeah, true. Wait till then for a dark type legend.
But yeah, fairy types. Pew! Bye. All right. So, dig into the deepest corridors of your memory bank and give us your very first experience with Pokemon. Where were you where were you first introduced to the entire franchise?
It was back in my school days. It was year 6. Because in the UK we go from like year 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You know, we go in that sort of order. So I would have been 11 or 12, I guess. We were on a trip, and the local shopping centre had packs in stock. Forget which packs they were. I want to say they were fossil, but I don't know if that's right. Because when would I have been 11 or 12? When would have been year 6? Hang on, I've got to think about. I've got to think. Early 2000s, I guess it would have been. Maybe it wasn't fossil. I don't know. But either way, it was that trip. We bought some packs. I opened them back in the dorm room that we're in. I can't remember the cards that we got out of it, but I just remember being excited to get my first ever trading cards at that sort of stage. And then it kind of sort of went off from there, really, that I wanted to get packs. And of course, then the games came out, and I got the games rather. And yeah, that's definitely the earliest point at which I remember getting involved with the Pokemon side of things, and it's just kind of been present ever since then, really. Bit of dip in Gen 5 and 6, really, but sort of came back with Gen 7, and then Sword and Shield, it just went from there. Big guns indeed. And even got back into some of the trading cards at that stage with, I think Sun and Moon were still knocking around the Unified Mindset. I got a few cards out of that one, but I stopped collecting. Now I wish I hadn't, because there's so many really cool cards in that set that I didn't get. That's now not possible to buy those cards. Well, not without economic ruin, anyway.
Yeah, economic ruin.
But yeah, we don't like that. I would like to be able to financially recover from this. So
I feel the same way, because freaking, like I said earlier, like Ruby and Sapphire, like specifically Sapphire, were the first games I played, and I would still love to have an original Ruby or Sapphire cartridge. I was this close to getting my hands on a Ruby cartridge from my tattoo artist who did my Obstagoon tattoo, but he said he couldn't find it. I'm like, damn it. So I was like, damn it, man. If you wind up finding it, just, give me a holler. But dude, I was so flipping close.
And you've seen how valuable those cartridges are these days?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I would never recover. I would never recover from that.
Exactly, you wouldn't. No, I mean, it'd be nice to win the lottery, I suppose, and have that for a display. But goodness me.
I mean, the oldest cartridge I have right now is a platinum cartridge, and that's all I got.
Same in fact.
I don't have the box, but I have the cartridge. My brother-in-law has the box, but he doesn't have the cartridge. So technically, we have both a box and a cartridge together.
With your pals combined, you have.
Dude, dude, between me, my brother-in-law, and my sister, we're just the three amigos of nerd. But my first experience with Pokemon actually came when I was about 5 or 6, and I first started watching the anime for the first time. And it was on a 3-episode VHS tape of Pokemon Shipwrecked, The Isle of the Giant Pokemon, and Tentacool and Tentacruel, which actually, fun fact, is a banned episode specifically in the United States.
Huh.
Yeah, because it references the 9/11 attacks.
Oh, yeah, that makes sense then. Why that would be banned?
Yeah.
Oh boy.
Yeah, but anyway, I was wound up becoming boggled and mesmerized by Pokemon at that point, because I mean, at first I thought Pokemon was just a cartoon without knowing what anime was. So I just always thought that watching these cartoons was so cool. So I started watching it live on TV. But then I started getting into the card games. Specifically looking at the nice, cool card arts, and I'm like, to this day, I still have no idea how to play this game.
I've only done it once, so I'm almost in the same boat.
Yeah, but then 2003, 2002, 2003 came around. I started playing Ruby Sapphire, and it snowballed from there for how much Pokemon I played. Ugh.
Never look back.
Yep, never looked back. Okay, next up is the emote elaboration. So why don't you go ahead and post some of your Pokemon themed emotes in the chat and explain why they are a thing, because everyone's got interesting emotes to share. So I want to know what special emotes you have and why they're a thing, because everyone's got a story behind an emote.
Let's see, we've got a couple. We'll start off with the Angie Tree Deer, Super Angie. That's Shiny Xerneas. And that was one of my longest Dynamax adventure hunts, quite early on when I sort of started streaming. Yeah, I got to the point where calling it the Angie Tree Deer because it just it was a difficult boss to beat with Dazzling Gleam. I had so many difficult runs defeating that thing, but finally it shined. I think it's one of the clips as well, in fact, that I sent over, and it was I think I was stunned pretty much into silence that it even happened. Like, wait, what? I'm free. Yeah, the Angie Tree Deer is one of them. What else do we have? Oh yeah, this is a good one. I quite like this one. I like my Dragon Ball Z abridged. Never really watched Dragon Ball Z as a kid, but friend turned me onto the abridged show, which is absolute hilarity. Even if you have tangential interest in Dragon Ball, I would highly.
He keeps kicking me in the dick. Why?
Why? Why does he keep kicking me in the dick?
Did anyone get the number of that bitch?
18.
Thank you.
You get it? Perfect.
Yeah, I get it.
There we go. There we go. So, I noticed fighting Mimikyu that when the disguise comes off, there's a clonking sound. It makes on in Sword and Shield. There is a clonk as the disguise that goes down. I then sort of think, oh, so that's what it becomes more powerful. It doesn't, obviously, but maybe that's its sign that's going to become more powerful. So that's the idea of it's going Super Saiyan Blue Kaioken. It's gone. That's the Kaio clonk, as it was nicknamed at the time. Because you can, Kaio what? And we go back to the Dragon Ball Z Bridge reference as well. So that's that one. And then I've got a couple. Well, yeah, I've got a couple more which I can touch on real quick. We've got that one. And then we've got that one too. Yeah, there's another screwy one which will pop in, and again we'll elaborate later on because that's fun. So we've got Shiny Barraskewda in a Waluigi hat. I mispronounced Barraskewda as Warraskewda. To the idea that when you see it, it's got the cheeky face like it's going wow, like Waluigi would. So Barraskewda in a Waluigi hat, Warraskewda. That's a thing. We've then also got Petulant doing the mochi because I still to this day can't quite remember how this became a thing, but I think it was a mod suggestion that with a mochi dance, basically I'm just doing this.
Yeah, you're not the only one who does a mochi dance.
What?
I do it too.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but instead I actually get up and I actually do the whole freaking chicken dance. And I'm like, oh god, why am I doing this? And I play the music too, and I'm like, oh god, why am I doing this?
Yeah, I do think that every time that gets redeemed. On my end, sadly. But there we go, that is a thing. And a viewer very kindly designed a Petulant emote, just for throwing back and sent it over. I'm like, oh, cool. And that's now become part of the channel lore there, really. And then, of course, we've got Shiny Scroopy for rigged, because, Scroopy, Shiny is rigged. And we'll elaborate more on that a little later on. So stay tuned, folks, for more.
Yeah, stay tuned, folks.
We'll find out why. But yeah, I think that's all my Pokemon ones. Otherwise, it's a bunch of Scyther-related stuff doing different things. Like there's
I know.
There's a laughing Scyther based on Jane and Joe Jameson because you serious. That was a good laughing emote. I thought.
Yeah, most of a good chunk of my emotes are themed after Obstagoon, but there are some that aren't themed after Obstagoon. Like, for example, one of my most used ones is this one, my Zoroa Giggle.
Oh, that's cute.
Yeah. Let's see. This emote pays homage to my first shiny on-screen ever, Shiny Regidrago. It's my Shiny Luck emote. Yeah, very first shiny I ever found on screen was a Shiny Regidrago, so freaking that pays homage to that. This was back before I freaking grew out my hair. Actually, technically I still had long hair back then, but this is before I donned my sunglasses, I grew my beard out, and back before my whole background was full of puzzles and things. Ugh, that was a clip. Let's see.
First one. That's awesome.
Yeah. This one, I dubbed Sushi, is a lantern-themed emote with a little sushi band. The reason why it's an emote is because I did an electric-only Nuzlocke in Shield, and I fell in love with Lantern because it wound up becoming the ace of my team because it had like Ice Beam, Skull, Dazzling Gleam, Thunderbolt. It was so effing powerful. But unfortunately, it met its fateful end before the Leon fight.
No.
Yeah, I was upset. The only reason why it's not in my top 10 right now is because I have such a deep connection with Nidoking that it just like it can't it can't enter the top 10.
Yeah, that's fair.
All right, for all of my members of the LGBTQIA community, I have this one. I have a Pride Tomb, Spirit Tomb with the rainbow colors with different colored orbs.
Oh, that is cool.
Yeah. I have, for people who are nice and chilling, I have a Alolan Vulpix sipping on a cold drink with sunglasses, because, that's my staple. And the reason why it's Alolan Vulpix is because I have found a shiny Alolan Vulpix on screen, except for Sun and Moon, in every single game it's been available in. I did the Let's Go trades. I got that shiny. I did Masuda and Sword and Shield. I got 3 of them in less than 200 eggs. Then I did it in Scarlet and Violet when the DLC, the Indigo Disc DLC got released, and I got that shiny. But I did get them back in the day with the SOS chaining, so that was cool. And one other one I like to note is Poké. Just annihilate punching the ground.
Okay.
Yeah, I felt like Annihilate became my new favorite fighting type, and it just god, it's so powerful. I've used it as often as I could. It's just so good. But probably my favorite emote is this one. I like to call Galarian Zigzagoon Baby Demon, and it's basically it biting onto a heart. Yeah, just ow. I find it adorable. All right. So, do you have any Pokemon hot takes?
Yeah, Pikachu's a Chad. Hate it.
Just straight up say
Allow me to elaborate. Allow me to elaborate why.
Go ahead.
In Pokemon Go, Pikachu has a whole variety of different costumes, right? Ranging from a simple hat to a full-on costume change. The reason I like to think of Pikachu as a bit of a Pika-Chad is one Halloween, I forget which one it was, but one of its costumes, it dresses as Mimikyu. Now, Mimikyu's whole thing is other, people don't love Mimikyu because they're scared of it, so it dresses up as Pikachu to try and gain their trust and be loved. And here's Pikachu going like, haha, bitch, people love me already. They're going to love me even more when I pretend to be you when you're pretending to be me. Ha. It just feels like such a dick move to do that. So to me, Pika-Chad, hate it. I don't say this is that one costume, but yeah, that is my hot take. That Pikachu pretending to be Mimikyu is actually quite a bullying thing. Don't like it. Get in the bin. Yeah. That's my hot take there on Pikachu. Yeah, it's the mascot and it's a gateway Pokemon, but it's overused. I like how they're moving more towards using Eevee as more of a mascot, and we're seeing more Eevee stuff come out. I mean, there's a reason I've got a sleeping Eevee on the counter, as well as a few evolutions over the shoulder plushie form, because I like going down that road. More people can identify themselves with favorite Pokemon with the evolutions, while Pikachu is just its own. Interesting to see what they do with Mega Raichu X and Y. Yes, that is kind of interesting, I will admit. Pikachu itself is overused. Yes, it's iconic. Yes, everyone can immediately identify Pokemon by Pikachu. Yes, I get that. But when Pikachu is taking the piss out of Mimikyu by pretending to be Mimikyu, when Mimikyu wants to be loved by pretending to be Pikachu, that's gone too far. Get out of
here. I was trying to think of one before we went live, but I'm kind of stumped because I've used a lot of my decent hot takes over the last few millennia. But
millennia, goodness me.
I've used up a good chunk of my hot takes, so freaking I think I need to repeat one. Let's see.
There's too many.
Freaking honestly, Mega Mawile overrated. It's pure powered, yeah, it's fine, but freaking I don't get the appeal behind Mega Mawile. It just doesn't come up to par with various other Pokemon that can go up against it. I think it may be one of the more powerful Megas in in contrast, but for me, I freaking clap that bitch in the next millennia.
See you in the year 3000.
Mm-hmm. That's actually a new one.
And topical, because of course we're only a few short weeks away from Legends EA, where presumably we're going to see plenty more of it as well.
Yeah, we'll talk more about Legends EA come the next part of the show, or in the coming parts of the show. But next, let's actually get to my favorite part of the show, the shared experiences. This is where the clips come in.
Yeah.
All right, so forgive me, this will look forgive me, guys. This will look funky for a few moments. So, let's see, bam, bam. Here we are. First clip. Wait. Okay, so I actually just looked at this. You phased 3 times on a Skorupi, looking for a Rosalia.
Yeah.
I feel like there's more to this story.
And a Tranquil. Don't forget the Tranquil.
Who gives a damn about that bird?
Oh, we want Discord joke, do we? Oh, so yeah, at this point, on 3,151 encounters in, I'm losing my mind, honestly. I think someone redeemed a Discord joke, so we get the budum tish, and then suddenly, wait, that's not a joke. Here we go. It's happened at last. So yeah, this is my Shiny A to Z challenge, which I've been doing since January this year. I figured it'd be a good birthday idea to start that whole process off.
So is that why you say Shiny Skorupi is rigged, because you freaking ran into 3 of them?
Yeah, literally 3 of them. I've got noted down what the encounters were for the Skorupi, but yeah, literally I've had 3 of those before I got a Rosalia. Bearing in mind that I've got the weather on, so the grass types appear more frequently. We're sending Exeggutor out, so again, increase the chance of the grass type Pokemon to spawn. And yet, I managed to find 3 Shiny Skorupi before a single Rosalia, and even an accidental Tranquil. I didn't even mean to clip that Tranquil. I just kind of, how the bikes can work in Sword and Shield. I was going too wide an angle. I hit it, and it was shining. Like, wait, what? What? So yeah, that was a phase as well.
So, I have you beat twice on twofold. 168 162 for a Kyurem, 148 Solgaleo. So, I've had you beat on that front. What's Nightmare mode?
Oh yeah, I introduced the idea of Nightmare mode, where we got to 100 runs and suddenly we start introducing dice rolls into the mix. So, I need to go left. Let's see what the dice say. No, the dice say we're going right. But I've then got an additional mode on top of that, where for special occasions we'll bring out Blindfold Zygarde Dynamax Adventures, where I'll literally put a blindfold on, so I can't see what the hell I'm doing, and we're going up against Zygarde to see if we get a shiny. And the funny thing is, one of my mods, the first time we beat Zygarde in Blindfold Dynamax Adventures, he got the shiny Zygarde again.
Holy hell!
It was insane.
Well, it makes you feel any better. Makes you feel any better. Oh, I hunted Solgaleo for months, and literally almost every single person that did Dynamax Adventures with me got Solgaleo before I did.
This is the way. This is the way. The streamer luck gets transplanted into the viewers, and they get the shinies instead. It is funny when it happens, and you're happy for them, but you're like, can I have mine, please? Please.
Yes. But anyway, let's watch this reaction.
All right, so Ants, because Robbie has low defenses even for a Pokemon with 124 base speed. That'll be it. Any shinies for you, Auntie? Out of interest. I'm going to go through my list and see. Vikavolt, no. Togedemaru, no. Kangaskhan, no. And then, yeah, I've not really been one for over the top reactions, but that was just kind of like a. Wait, what?
You were speechless. You didn't even react.
Literally.
You didn't even react, man. You just freaking just stood there and like, shit.
I'm like, huh? Also, it's crazy because that was done in the same place where I am now. The fact that the background is just completely barren of anything else is mad. That was a long time ago.
Yeah, and plus you didn't have that fancy beard there, so there's always something.
Yeah.
There's always something between a beardless and a bearded shiny reaction. It's just like what do you to do?
Yeah, this one I loved. So this was earlier on in the Rosalia hunt. I figured I'd do some Crystal play. I was playing through Crystal because I just got my streaming 2DS that I could, I can stream from it. That in itself was just completely brand new and awesome. So I wanted to play through Crystal because the idea being, let's be able to do some shiny hunting in Crystal at some point. Going for Celebi. I also then found out about the 1 in 64 egg hunting method where you get a shiny Ditto from yellow or red and blue, which we've done. And we started hunting in that, which is awesome. Yeah. So.
Would you believe me if I said I found 2 shiny Celebi in the span of 2 days?
Yes, because that's insane, and it sounds about right.
And I'll discuss that more in detail in a bit, but holy crap, that was hold on. That alert was
shiny.
That was timed perfectly. 1,000 bits dropped the second the shiny popped up.
Oh my god. And if you can also hear in the background, there was the train music from Heart Gold Soul Silver playing.
Yeah.
The one that goes to Golden Rod to Saffron. That's my Hype Trainer started music. So literally, that cheer, 1,000 bits, started a Hype Train and summoned a shiny Stantler. And I couldn't quite believe what had happened. I'm like, wait. Because I didn't see the initial sparkles, not quite. I didn't see it. I'm like, that's why I'm leaning in, looking at the DS itself. Like, wait a second, that's shiny. No, that's shiny.
I know, it was timed perfectly. It was timed perfectly. That's crazy.
So that Stantler is called Hype Train.
Gotcha. So I'm not going to provide any context to this. I just want you to listen to what I say and just like. I honestly want to get your. I honestly just want to get your reaction to what this is.
Okay.
Will you stop whirlwinding me, you fucking fat sumo, goddamn stinky fucking diaper asshole?
Well, shit. That was a string of words.
I'm so pissed at these fucking Hariyamas. It's unreal.
That was a string of words.
Poor Hariyama.
What was going on is
really
that
annoying.
what was going on was that we, like, me and my friend, I will not mention because he's not really part of my life anymore. We were doing a Nuzlocke race and we were grinding for the league. I kept getting whirlwinded by Hariyamas because they're worth good experience, and I was getting so pissed off, and I just wound up saying that. Yeah. Also, if you can see, I actually have face paint on. I have this thing what I call face paint finale, where for the final leg of a Nuzlocke run, I've like put like quote unquote war paint on.
Okay.
So yeah, if you were wondering about the face, if you're wondering about the face paint, that's why. Okay, so this clip. This A, never happened to me before, and B, I had to hold in my excitement because this was happening at like 8 o'clock at night, and this is when I was living with my sister-in-law and my brother at the time, and they go to bed at 8 o'clock, so I had to like keep in my excitement. So go ahead and watch this.
I know what this is as well. I think I've seen this.
I'm on chain 37. This is where I'm staying. I am not risking the last 3. No way in hell. Oh my god! Yo! Double shiny patch! Double shiny patch! Yo! Yo! god! I have never gotten a double shiny patch before! Oh my god! Oh my god! Oh my god! I gotta take a picture of this. I gotta take a picture. So yeah, I was trying to like whisper yell because I didn't want to like bother them while they were trying to bed down. So freaking like, oh my god, like what the heck? What was going on? Obviously I failed the shiny, but I got one at the same time, so I got myself a blue ducky.
We love that. We absolutely love that.
Okay. So again, I'm not going to provide context to this clip. I just want you to react. I just want you to watch it and just tell me what you think.
Alrighty.
Obviously, it's a randomizer Nuzlocke. Of course it's the attack form. Of course it's the attack form. I got pissed 'cause I didn't want to face this thing. But then...
What? What?
Yes! Yes! Finally! That move comes in my favor! Finally!
Fuck this shit, I'm out.
Thank you, Jesus. It used memento. For those that don't know, I have a very, very bad relationship with
That is
memento.
crazy.
So the reason why I was hysterical was not because the thing knocked itself out, was because long before I did this run, I did a metronome only run in Heart Gold, and I cannot express how many times the freaking metronome landed on memento.
Oh my god.
Yeah, I lost so many Pokemon because of memento. And the fact that I was facing off against an attack form Deoxys in a randomizer and it freaking took itself out, I was so happy. And just I was like, out of all times, why does this move now come into my favor? It's just like, holy crap.
That is crazy.
All right, so aside from the moments that you've had on screen, what are some other Pokemon experiences that you've had that were related to Pokemon? Like you said, you came to the U.S. because of Pokemon. So give us a little bit more insight as to that.
Oh, so no, it wasn't the US. No, it was a different country. It was
I just assumed you came to the U.S. My apologies. So where did you go?
So yeah, it was so Europe really.
Just you, just
a couple of countries that yeah, I've got friends that live in Europe there. So in the UK, it's not as simple as yeah. There is a train. You can go all the way through. Well, you can go France, Belgium, the Netherlands. You go just on one train, which is pretty fun. So yeah, it was in fact just a couple of weeks ago. In fact, that I was there last week. Yeah, it was last week. Yeah, it was last week. Oh my god, time.
I'll be damned.
Gone. But yeah, it was to go see some friends I made through the streaming, and it was just nice just to get to hang out more than anything. Managed to pop onto their stream for a bit as well, which is kind of funny. By a little bit of chat demand, like, where's Solar? He's here. Get him on camera. No. Get him on camera. Oh, all right. But just be able to actually do that at all was just is wonderful, really. What else have we done Pokemon wise? They had it was a 1 year for Pokemon Go Fest. They did it in London, which I was able to get a ticket before and actually go for one of the days. I was meant to be somewhere else, but like the weekend after, well, that week really. So I was able to plan it in so the Saturday I could go and do the Go Fest, and then Sunday travel onwards. But that was really good. Again, that was the first time I actually got to meet someone from my channel. One of my moderators, we actually got to meet from there because again he's in a European country, and he then joined us from there. So it was really nice to just get to meet someone who's been part of the channel for quite a long time at that stage. So yeah, that was really cool. But yeah, otherwise, a lot of the kind of events are things I like to do, but it's difficult sometimes to get the time off. I wanted to go to one thing I'd like to do would be international finals in London. That would be pretty cool to do because it's easy enough to get there. but it's then getting a ticket. You've got to be in line to get a ticket, I suppose. So that's on the bucket list of what I'd like to do. And also they're doing a pop-up at the Natural History Museum. I'm going to try and get tickets for that next week. Free again, but it's just, can you get one? And that could just be a fun experience. So yeah, that'd be nice to do as well. But yeah, I can't say I've really engaged that much with it outside of sort of streaming or just playing the games, I guess. Well, I did the midnight launch for Scarlet and Violet, I guess, because I figured I'm going to be awake at that time anyway. I might as well go and get my copy, because then the next day I can start streaming it. So not there was anything amazing about it. The shopping centre's not normally open at that time, and there were a few people in there getting their games, and they're just like, here's the bag with the game in it, there you go. Okay, bye. I'm
Yeah.
going home now.
So what are some more on-screen endeavors that you'd like to note, like some more like awesome experiences that you've had, like I don't know, community events, just any other shiny hunting methods, or just like give us more insight, man. Like, give us some more insight into like some awesome experiences that you've had, other than the clips that we've mentioned previously.
Yeah, so I think the egg lock is probably the big one, because that was just an idea like, could we do an egg lock? But not one where I create all the eggs, but one where the community does it. Could we do it? So worked out how many eggs I'd need. And again, one of my mods very kindly organized it all. I mean, I set up a Discord channel to facilitate it, but then immediately spoiled it so that I just wouldn't look at it. And I still haven't even looked at it to this day, even though the egg lock's now finished. I probably should go and have a look just to see what went on. But he otherwise organized it all. And the response was insane. Like, even got people afterwards wanting to send eggs, so I then had a bonus egg redemption. So on top of the eggs for each encounter, spend so many channel points, we can have a bonus egg for this episode as well. And it was just an incredible response. And that was before, I did that at a time where my channel isn't where it is now. I figure if I did it now, I'd get even more people involved, especially with some of the connections I've made and the community that I've grown and become part of. I feel like I could get an even bigger response next time I do an egg lock. So we had some crazy Pokemon that were sent in. Some people sent me shiny eggs.
Huh.
The fact they went to the effort of making sure the egg was shiny. And some of them were absolute stalwarts of the team. Roxy, the shiny Hisuian Growlithe, being one of them. She was an absolute staple of the team. She died nearly died more than she should have done, once to a Hoppip. That was kind of close, because hey, look, rock and fire, grass is neutral, bullet seed's a problem. I'm going in all overconfident, thinking, yeah, fire and rock, that Hoppip's got no chance. It's faster. It used bullet seed. Oh god, I have like 2 HP left. No, not Roxy. She's fine. She came back from that, and she died later. But there's been, just little moments created as part of that we then all been able to sort of, talk about and remember. I had Lucario at level 10. One of my initial eggs was a Riolu. It hatched, and it evolved at level 10. Hadn't even done the first gym yet, and I had a Lucario on my team. It felt wrong.
That's Lucario for you. As long as the friendship's high enough, it'll evolve at any level.
And somehow it was. Don't quite get how, but it was. However, balance to the universe was restored, because I got a bit overconfident, sent Lucario into battle against a Slacking. This is going to be fine. Fighting type against normal. We've got this. I was adamant, so I built it as a physical attacker. Did just over half damage to Slacking. What did it use? Counter.
Oh no! Counter's the worst. That's why I hate Wobbuffet.
Yeah, rightly so. Even worse, that was the second Pokemon I lost to counter.
Second?
In that run. The first was Swaggins, the Livani, who died to counter from a Mudsdale.
Oh, I forgot Mudsdale got counter too.
Yeah, that was painful, because I'd never used a Livani before. I was really keen on it. I'd been training it up. It was doing really good work, and it died. And then later on, turned out one of the eggs that had been sent was a shiny Mudspray. AKA murder.exe, and it didn't die.
Oh, God.
It did not die. became very reliable, actually, ironically. But yeah, just little moments like that. Just actually doing an egg lock from start to finish, where all of the eggs have been contributed by the community. I had the only say I had in it was I started with a Scyther. She got boxed very quickly. Because people were like, no, you can't have a Scyther. No, come on, use some of these ones. Like, yeah, you know what? Point. You've taken the time and the effort to create these eggs for me. Yeah, we're going to box Scyther. So she didn't die in the entire run. She didn't make it past level like 18 or anything, but we then had a whole variety of Pokemon I wouldn't normally have used. We had like Tangfastic, the shiny Cramorant, survived all the way up to the Elite Four. And I didn't want her to die, so she got boxed and replaced by Riptide, the shiny Gyarados. He died. But Tangfastic lives on because it looked like a Haribo, the Tangfastic. So just that shiny colour. And even just like the names were just, yeah. So I think the Egglock probably is one of the most amazing things I've had the opportunity to do as part of this. And the plan is to do maybe less moderator intensive versions. Like, yeah, there's ideas. But that was definitely an incredible thing to do.
Yeah, of all the runs I've done, I've yet to do an egg lock, so maybe one day I'll wind up doing one of those.
Yeah, you should.
But,
you definitely should.
Yeah. But in terms of like my side, in terms of like off-screen endeavors, back when I had a full mod team, I met like half of them and a few of my VIPs for the first time by going to the opposite end of the state, Iowa, and that was a really good trip. We had a blast. We had a big old stream, and freaking, I died of laughter so bad. I literally fell out of my chair and I used my buddy's foot as a pillow because I couldn't stop laughing. They killed me. They killed me. But other than that, I was actually lucky enough to. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to attend Worlds this year, but I did attend NAIC, the North American International Championships. That's where I met one of my current new friends. She was decked out in a full-blown Meowth cosplay, and I was like, I took a picture of her just like the first picture I took with a cosplayer, and I just took a picture. Later on, I wound up seeing her all throughout the day. It was like, man, I just wound up seeing this Meowth girl all day. So I saw her sitting there, and I was like, girl, I don't know, but I don't know what it is, but for some reason I've seen you almost all over the place today. So we wound up talking, we wound up hanging out afterwards. We found each other on Discord. She had no idea I was a streamer. And freaking, that was a really fun experience. Later on, she actually gave me I told her I was a fan of dark types, and I really loved Marnie. So she gave me a Marnie card. That was Marnie's Morpeko. So I was like, oh my god. I gave her a big old hug and just freaking all this other stuff. Aside from her, which I'm actually going to go see her and a few of the other friends I made at NAIC coming soon, because we're going to have a Smash Bros costume party.
Ooh.
And I'm driving all the way to Louisiana to do this shit, man. Which you don't know, Louisiana's like 2 states over from where I am now.
Oh, damn.
Yeah, it's like a 9-hour.
Us Europeans forget. Yeah,
it's like it's like a 9-hour.
You're the same country.
Yeah, it's like a 9-hour car drive.
Ooh.
Which I've done before, but this is for a friend, so I'm gonna bring and bear it.
Yeah, that's fine.
But yeah, aside from meeting her, I also met some of my people that I've met on stream before. I've met Quick Panic, Zardy Coolers, Nora in the Future, John Stone. I met all those guys. Freaking, they were all really nice, cool people. So freaking amazing people. We actually did this like little shiny hunting thing where Nora and Quick Panic hosted with this little like for one single hour, we got like 50 people together. All of us were shiny hunting full odds and trying to find as many shinies as we could in like 1 hour. We wound up finding 4 shinies and we wound up finding like 4 shinies and I think like 35,000 encounters, I think, in total. But amazing experience. And also when we got done taking a picture of the group picture, some guy got with his girlfriend in front of everybody and proposed to her. So that was actually really cool. It was planned. So it was really cool. But one of the streaming endeavors I've done that I really haven't given much credit to on this show as like since its inception is my Dark Lock. For those of you that don't know, what I do is that I'm doing this series where I am going into every single Pokemon game and I am nuzlocking it with only dark type Pokemon. And since its inception, here's how it's gone. I did one in Galar, which was the first one. Then I did one in Alola, and that one, that one was tough. But that also gave birth to my alter ego known as the Dark King Zeo. Hold on, let me give you more insight. Where is that thing? I literally donned this. And yeah, I literally donned this, and I'm like, I speak in this foreign accent, which doesn't compute with any other accent in particular, just like the accent I've invented for this character. And I differentiate myself as this character, and then whoop, my hat's backwards. So then I did it in Alola, then I did one in Kalos, then I did one in, well, I did one in Sword, Ultra Moon, Y, Black 2, Platinum, Scarlet, Omega Ruby. 7 different regions, all conquered with only dark type Pokemon.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. And out of all of them, probably my favorite one would probably be freaking, jeez. Like I hate to give favoritism to certain runs, but I honestly want to say that the Ultra Moon Darklock was my favorite because it gave birth to Zeo. I had so many Pokemon, awesome Pokemon in the series, and I did like a war sequence where I took on Rainbow Rocket with only my dark types, and I won.
Nice.
Yeah. I only have until Gen 10 is introduced, I only have 2 regions left, Johto and Kanto, and and I plan like my initial plan is to do this run in Soul Silver, but I have no idea when I'm going to enact this run. So hopefully sometime within the next 6 months, maybe I finally get this run off the ground. And I can finally, at least until Gen 10 is introduced, I can conclude this series, and then I can formally proclaim myself the Dark King of the Pokemon world. It's been one of my it's my pet project. It's my baby. It's just one of those series where you just like you invest so much time and energy into it that it just becomes a part of your overall persona. But I've kind of steered away from it, to be brutally honest, because I don't want people to identify me as like the alter ego guy. I just want people to see me for me. So that's why I kind of like steered away from it as of late, to focus more on me. So it will come back. It will come back. Okay, so let's actually talk about some of the recent Pokemon news. So the first thing we're going to talk about, which is what we talked about before we went live, the shiny Koraidon Miraidon distribution. There is so much shit going on about these. First off, stores not having the codes, only a limited stock, people not getting them, selling the codes for like $50 a pop, and certain countries and areas of the world not getting distributions for them while others are. So let me pick your, yes, obviously you, so I do apologize that you're not getting these things. But just tell me, man, give me your personal opinion on these distributions and why they're such a problem.
Yeah, I think it links back into the wider issue that seems to be rising from the TCG side, the scalping, that there's just this absolute insanity of people. They must get their hands on this, even that they're not fans. They don't want to open the packs. They don't want to get these code cards. They don't want to get the shinies. They just want to make a quick buck, essentially, with many people. But I think they've really dropped the ball in the US here because in, say, France and Spain, the distributions aren't on a printed code card. It's from a receipt that you print from the till. So there is no limited stock in that sense. It's just generate a code, print the receipt. Why could that not have been done in the US? I don't understand why they've had to have this completely different process there in such limited numbers.
I don't know, because in my opinion, the US sucks compared to those countries, even though I live in this country.
Yeah. Well, I mean, yeah. You're more qualified to say than I am on that one, of course. But yeah, it just smacks of I don't know if it's incompetence or they've just got a certain strategy in mind in the US, because again in the US they launched the codes the same day that Mega Evolutions launched as a TCG set. So the employees in the stores seem to be confused because the Pokemon Company have very clearly stated on the website no purchase necessary, and yet so many GameStop employees are saying, "Oh no, you've got to spend $15." Confusing it potentially with the fact that, yeah, there's a promo TCG card if you buy TCG products, but the shinies are separate. That should just be code please. But there's not enough codes anyway. And then, like you say, people are scalping them, which is just, again, awful. So, yeah, it's all. Why couldn't they have just done this in a similar fashion to the Ruin Legends? A lot of feedback I see from people is, why couldn't you've just made them huntable in the game? Because shiny hunters want to be able to shiny hunt it. They want that time, they want that content. But the Pokemon Company seems to like shiny locking a lot of the new legends and not allowing people to do that. Not sure what the logic there is.
Because they want people to play the game. They don't want people to spend countless hours looking for a different colored Pixelmon.
Which is a sad thing, because a lot of the longevity of the Pokemon series is from Pokemon searching for a differently coloured pixel. So I think we need to recognize that a bit more. And they could have easily just done like a code giveaway, made it a mystery gift, because that way you're not then locking certain territories out and creating artificial FOMO from it and feeding the scalper market that is already garnering negative reputational damage for Nintendo or the Pokemon Company, rightly or wrongly. They're only feeding that now, it seems. So yeah, I think they need to go back, think about it again, make it available in more territories. I think the reason why, for example, the UK isn't getting the codes at the moment is because they're waiting until Mega Evolutions launches, because we haven't got it yet. It doesn't launch for us until mid-October, the TCG set. So maybe they're looking to do it at the same time, again, to do like they've done in the US, but if it does, that's going to be a disaster. But yeah, especially these shinies that have never been distributed before, and let's be honest, won't be again until they become available in Pokemon Go. They've really dropped the ball on this, I think, and they need to hear the feedback. So we will need to complain to the appropriate channels and make our voices heard. Whether they'll listen or not is another question, but if we do nothing, nothing will change. But at least we try and say something about it, keep that in the conversation, and let them know that what they've done is a negative thing, that hopefully they won't make that same mistake again, or try and put it right, or both.
I mean, I totally agree with you on all fronts. Like, I hold nothing back when it comes to that stuff, so I totally agree with you on all fronts, man. Because scalping is the biggest issue when it comes to Pokemon TCG or just these code cards in general, and just like freaking people just abuse the system so much, and they get away with it because that's just how it works. They just get away with it, and there's nothing really they can do about it. I mean, yes, the shops can limit them to like how many can be given to one particular customer. Like my GameStop in particular, they only allowed me to take 2 because I can only get the 2 because I played both games. I can only get the 2. But there are people that like go to various GameStops and get more than one card, so they have like a couple of sets from like 5 different stores, so they got like 10 code cards, and then they scalp them and make the money off them. But then there are people like people I know in my personal stream team or various other platforms that take these cards and give them to people that actually can't get the code cards. So but the problem is, it takes one bad apple to ruin the whole batch. That's what I'll say. Because even though there's people doing good, there's more people doing bad, and it makes it look even worse. That's just my personal take on it.
Yeah, no, it is. Yeah, yeah.
Okay, so
One bad apple to spoil the crop.
yeah, it takes one bad apple to spoil the crop. Okay, so I'm actually gonna turn on my screen here again because recently Pokemon Mega Evolution recently teamed up with I don't know if you're a fan of professional wrestling, but they teamed up with a Mexican wrestling promotion known as CMLL, and they hosted this shiny hunting luchador event, and there were actually various people, you know, in their wrestling attire representing Pokemon. So let me just turn this on really. Let me just. Oh yeah, you can see it on your screen on your end, but let me do it for the chat here. So we have the lady in the top left cosplaying as Sylveon. Oh, actually, hold on. I think it lists them on the comments here. Somewhere in the comments, or maybe not. I think it was somebody else. Somewhere else where I saw this.
It is up there. Yeah, the rest
Oh
of
yeah,
the
yeah.
yeah.
Silverano Jr. as Gengar. We have La Calatina. Catalina is Sylveon. Kira is Togepi. Hechicero is the Machamp, and Mystico. I actually know the wrestler Mystico by name because he's been in other various promotions that I've watched before. Actually, is Hawlucha. And it was actually Mystico and Hechicero's team going against each other, like Mega Hawlucha going against Machop. And I believe, if I'm not mistaken, Mystico's team won. So they got like this special Pokemon themed belt. So it was actually really cool. I actually really like this because it's just showing how Pokemon isn't just a children's game. There are literal adults here cosplaying and playing these characters in their wrestling gear and representing them. It just looks so cool to me. It's just awesome, especially because I'm a wrestling fan. Yeah. And it just looks so cool to me to see this, you know? Representation outside of just like video games, TCG, and various other platforms. Outside the norm.
Really cool, especially you can actually tell which Pokemon they are representing. That's actually really cool. I like that.
Yeah. But speaking of Mega Evolution, excuse me. Speaking of Mega Evolution, pretty much last month or earlier this month, we've had various new Megas come onto the scene. Mega Hawlucha, Mega Malamar, Mega Chestnut, Delphox, Greninja, Mega Raichu X, Mega Raichu Y, the Mega Dimension. Like between the most recent news that came about, give me your insight as to everything that's come across pretty much since in the last like couple of in the last like 3 weeks.
So I'm quite surprised that we've had the announcement of DLC before the game's even come out. That is very interesting a move.
Never done that. I'm very shocked by that too.
Yeah, I wonder if that's a signal of their intent to say this isn't going to be Legends Arceus where it's a once and done. We are going to support this a little bit more. There's more to come. To maybe sort of bridge the gap between this and Gen 10 or the Champions or whatever they're going to do next year potentially. So that is quite interesting. I do wonder what they're going to bring into that. The fact that it's the Hooper. The Hooper rings. Is it going to be a pseudo Dynamax Adventure style thing? Is it going to be just like we're going to explore a past or future thing? Just different realities. The possibilities are tantalizing, in my view. The designs of the Raichus are quite cool. I'm not against it at all. It's again quite interesting how one seems to be Pikachu with Raichu colors and one's Raichu with Pikachu. That's quite a cool design idea. Obviously, still the X and Y features. But of the recently revealed ones, I don't think there's a bad Mega among them. I get people don't like Dragonite. It's a shame because it's just Goofy turned up to 11. That's the point. Deal with it. That's cool. Yes. Victory Bell, the fact that it's basically got so much acid going on, it's got to tie itself up to stop it leaking everywhere. That's thematic. That's interesting. I imagine it's going to have corrosion as an ability so that it can just poison whatever it likes.
That'd be cool.
Kind of hints it in the description, I think, too. Hawlucha. It just kind of feels like they've just increased the design. Okay, this is how much wrestling, whatever inspiration. Let's just dial the inspiration up a little bit more. So more the same. I like it. It's pretty cool. But I really, really rather like. Well, Malamar's quite interesting as well. The Mega Mind, the big brain there. But with, I was very surprised to see the Delphox, Greninja, and Chestnut, because I've never been a fan of Chestnut. It's probably my least favorite grass type starter until I saw its Mega. I really like the look they've gone with, that kind of regal, the cape and the staff. I was like, okay, it feels like it's seen some stuff. It's aged. It looks wise. I really quite like that look. Delphox looks incredible with the broomstick and the floating and the inspiration there. Greninja, it's almost like they're like, Greninja's cool.
Like,
let's just again turn that up to 11 or 12.
Like let me put this in perspective. I hate Delphox, but I love its Mega. It's just so good. But Greninja, even though how much I love it, I kind of don't like the Mega, because I feel like I don't like the fact that it's upside down. I get that it's a ninja, but why has it got to be upside down, like upside down on a freaking twirling shuriken? I don't understand. And also it has black integrated into its new color scheme. I'm wondering how its shiny's going to be now, because it has black in its Mega form. So I'm wondering what shiny Mega Greninja looks like. But here's the thing though, the Mega Stones are locked behind seasonal competitive things. So what are your thoughts on that?
It's a way to encourage people to play the game, I suppose, but then there's the inevitable criticism, you're making me pay for Nintendo Switch Online.
Yeah, but the thing Pokemon does is the thing Pokemon does is pay and play. You pay to play the games and you play them.
Yeah. And it's an industry standard at this point. Most games that have any form of online connectivity require you to buy the online subscription, be it Xbox, PlayStation, which I might add are far more expensive than a Nintendo equivalent. So it's a lot more accessible. Yeah, if you don't have the privilege of, sustainable income, that you can't afford it, okay, that is a question. But it makes me think of the shiny Galarian birds. When they did that as part of the Sword and Shield, you had to do 3 online matches to be able to get those shiny birds. People, if they didn't have it online, they missed out, I guess, on that one. But of course, personally,
I hate the shiny Galarian birds. Articuno is the only exception. The other two, bleh.
Hey, let's make their shiny versions their Kanto equivalents.
It's just it's like the same thing. It's like the same thing they did with Alolan Muck, and I don't like it.
Yeah, they could have done something different there, honestly. But
yeah,
I don't honestly mind the idea that they're locked behind those challenges. Well, I might do when the game launches, and I hate the battles. I may change my mind later, but at least it's an encouragement to have you engage in the core mechanic of the game. Playing those battles and getting involved in the online side of things. So, but hopefully it won't be like you must win so many games, because that's going to be very off-putting. If it's just participate, then maybe like we see in PCG. Oftentimes people just put a garbage team out there so you can get the things done quickly. So there may be some kind of just community unwritten understanding that you don't put your best teams out there, you put some not so good ones out, and you just kind of make them quick so that you can get the rewards. So I think maybe let's wait and see what happens with releases. I think generally online we're very good at overreacting to something before it's even launched. We don't know what it's going to look like yet. They tell us what's going to happen, like, oh my god, this is awful. Let's just wait and see how it lands first, and then let's form a fully formed opinion.
Yeah, it's like how Austin John Plays put it. Like, we don't know exactly what we have to do in order to get these Mega Stones, so let's just hold off on hate before we, then figure out what we gotta do and then decide if we hate it or not.
Exactly. Yeah. Exactly that. Let's remain positive and optimistic and see what happens. If we're disappointed, okay, fair enough. We can then feed that back accordingly. Maybe they'll do something about it. Video game companies these days are a lot more receptive to feedback. Maybe not Pokemon, but other ones certainly are. So, yeah, let's wait and see. We don't have long to wait. It's only a few short weeks away, unbelievably. We're nearly there. And, yeah, let's see what happens. I'm excited. I'm looking for. I always like to look forward to a new mainline Pokemon game. I like the idea that it's down to ability cooldowns. It's a bit more action packed, which I know some people are against, or they feel they may not engage with. Let's see what happens. I'm just looking forward to getting stuck in, see what the mechanics are like, because Legends Arceus was an absolute breath of fresh air. That was a fantastic game, and the story in that is probably my favorite Pokemon storyline of the Switch era, because it was just, there were twists, there were turns. I literally didn't know what was coming next. Like, oh god, okay, that's cool. Yeah. So
Yeah.
if this has anything to go by in that sense, bring it on.
Yeah, I can't wait to see what's in store for ZA. The only thing that sucks, though, I will say about ZA is that I can't take any time off during the week that it actually releases, so I can't take Thursday and Friday off, so I can have a 4-day weekend to binge the game, but I was like, maybe they'll benefit me in a way. I don't know.
Yeah, it might do. Yeah.
I don't know.
Savor it.
Okay. All right, so the last portion of the show is that I like to give the guest a chance to give us the inside scoop on any potential plans or goals that they have coming up, or potentially they would like to meet or achieve within the next calendar year. So, what's in store for Solarscyther?
So there's a couple of things. Of course, we've got the launch of Legends ZA to look forward to. So naturally, there's going to be a playthrough of that. I've been toying with the idea of trying a shiny only playthrough from the very beginning. Don't know, but we'll see. But I'm not going to start that straight away. I'm going to start playing that like the Monday after it launches, just to give people a chance to play it. Because historically, I found if I start streaming the game on launch, people are like, nope, I don't want to watch you. I'd rather do my own thing. Don't get spoiled. Like, I respect that. So at least giving those hardcore players the chance to get through it over the weekend. Start on the Monday, they won't be spoiled probably. So that should be fine. But one thing I'm really looking forward to starting is I've got an idea for getting all the shinies in Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee. The Let's Go Plus, I'm referring to it as, because it's not just going to be, okay, you can't get Mew. Well, I can't get Mew from Let's Go, so that's fine. Ignoring Mew, all 150 plus the regional forms, but also Tangrowth, Magnezone, all the ones that can evolve. So basically anything that can have the Let's Go Pikachu mark to be caught in that game. So it will mean 3 Magnemites, 3 Slowpokes, etc. But that is something I would like to achieve as a shiny living dex in that sort of sense. So there's going to be some pain in there, especially the fossils and the like the Alolan forms and so on. But I think that'd be cool to do as a project. And Crystal. I want to get more shinies in Crystal as well. If I can get a shiny living Crystal dex, that'd be kind of crazy too. But again, the Roamers are going to be pain. I'm already nearly 3,000 resets into Suicune in Crystal, and yeah, I'm not sure. I've never done a soft reset before for a legendary hunt, so this is the first one. I just need to get back to a routine of, okay, let's just keep doing this when I get these opportunities to do. Another 100 resets here, 100 there, and every 100 resets, or every reset is one step closer to shiny Suicune.
Admiral goals
as well
there,
as the other thing as well. I've not really talked about it too much, but one thing I do every Thursday is something I call Booster Thursday, where we open trading cards at the start of the stream. Chat chooses 6 Pokemon to act as double points targets, and then we go shiny hunting against each other to see who can get the most shinies by the end of the month. Whoever does chooses which game I have to shiny hunt in. It's a bit of fun. People seem to enjoy it. We also have different packs, so who knows what might happen, what cards we'll get. Could get some really shiny cards. But one thing I'd like to introduce, and I'm sort of thinking about bringing this maybe even next month or the month after, is a team-based version. So it could be pairs, it could be wider teams, it could just be 2 teams, and then you randomly determine which team you're on, so that people can join in and compete for shinies that way and contribute together. It's all just a bit of fun, and there's no kind of like, monetary prize or anything, but it's just, hey, we can get some shinies and just engage. It's it's done well. People talk about it, and we have some fun with it. So yeah, just some different versions of Booster Thursday. There's also some plans for the year ahead. So
awesome. So one project that I will say, I'm keeping one project under wraps right now because I'm going to announce it with my rebrand. But like I said earlier, This is going to be my final stint as the Poké Network. By the first of the month, 1st of October, I'll be fully rebranded into the new version of the creator I see myself as. This change comes from wanting to focus more on my individual identity, more so of a brand name. So that's one of the biggest reasons why I'm doing this rebrand. Plus, also, I feel like this name has run its course, so I'm going to focus more on trying to build my legacy as a creator than trying to build this name that I feel like has just hit its peak. You know what I mean? But aside from that, tomorrow, everybody, my first Soul Link ever is coming to an end. Me and Chaos 6, we have our teams of 6. We have to take on the Victory Road, the Elite Four, the Champion. Will we claim victory? I don't know. If we do, it'll be his first Soul Link win and my first Soul Link win. So let's see where we go. But the finale of the Chaos Network Black 2 White 2 Soul Link Randomizer Nuzlocke starts tomorrow at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Mark your calendars. But aside from that, I actually want to do a Soul Link in Omega Ruby Alpha Sapphire. I just need a partner. So I need to scour the interwebs and look for a new partner for that, because Omega Ruby Alpha Sapphire Soul Link Randomizer Nuzlocke, that just sounds really awesome. I really want to do this run because I wanted to start doing more Soul Links this year, so I want to see if I can get another Soul Link off the ground. So I want to see if I get that done. But aside from that, I need to wrap up. I need to start finishing up my shiny badge quest of Violet on the Switch 2. And I need to finally purchase the DLC for Violet so I can actually go into the DLC and play those games, because I actually have a unique team of 6 Pokemon for both Kitakami and Blueberry Academy that I plan to run each DLC with. So I'll have a lot more shiny hunting to do. So God have mercy on my soul.
Yes, please.
But yeah. Aside from all that Pokemon stuff, playing more Hades 2, that's also on my repertoire, so I'm just stay tuned for what's next from who I'm gonna be in the next few days.
The artist formerly known as the Poké Network.
Yes, the artist formerly known as the Poké Network. But hey, today's been an absolute great jeez, I lost the word there. An absolute great laugh fest, learning experience, and also just great overall podcast in general. So, Scyther, thank you again for taking the time out of your day to sit down and let me figure out what makes you the nerd you are, and letting not only my audience but your audience as well maybe find stuff about you that they didn't even know.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, again, appreciate you having me on, because it's been good to find out yourself as well. Have some fun.
Yep, absolutely. It was a blast. I'm looking forward to more shows down the line. But one more thing I need from you is that guest chooses the raid. So where are we going? You can choose anybody who's live. Doesn't matter what they're playing. Just whoever you want to raid into, I'll raid into them.
Wow, I feel like it's got to be Dorcas Dragon.
Ironically,
Dorcas Dragon directive.
Ironically, that's where I was lurking the whole day.
Yeah, I might have seen you there already.
Yeah, in the tabs I had open. Okay, let me just get her up here. Okay, so if you are subscribed to my channel, the Poké Network, you can use this raid command. If you are not subbed to my channel, you can use this raid command, the one that I'm about to type into the chat with the Pikachus. Alright, I'm gonna go ahead and get this raid started. So, is there a normal outro you like to say at the end of your streams, or is there you just say like thanks for hanging out, goodbye, see you next time, or whatnot?
Pretty much, yeah. I don't have like a rehearsed outro, only rehearsed intro. So it's pretty much, appreciate you all for joining us. Hope you've had some fun. And we will see you all next time we see you.
Yeah. I mean, I like to say I want to thank you all for choosing the back alley as a place to hang out today. Stay safe, stay strong. I'll see you on the next one. Take care, you nerds. But in honor of the True Turbo, I want to remind everybody to stay safe, stay rocking, stay true to yourself. I will see you guys in a few weeks with another episode of pokeNERDS Inc. under my brand new channel name. But I want to thank you all for tuning in to pokeNERDS Inc. today and for every other past episode and for all the future episodes I plan to host under my new name. So, from all of us here today, we want to say thank you